First of all, good morning to all participants, and I would like to especially thank the Dubrovnik Tourist Board and the organizer for the opportunity to present my hometown Dubrovnik and our project DoMotion. And let me introduce myself shortly. My name is Alen Bošković and I'm a former water polo national team player and Olympian. I have a degree in tourism and economics from University of Dubrovnik. As General Secretary, I have been managing Dubrovnik Sport Association for 10 years now. So Dubrovnik Sport Association has 95 different sport clubs in 35 different sport branches, and we have almost 5,000 athletes, mostly youngsters. Our clubs are competing on national and international level, which is important for a small city such as Dubrovnik. Romana talked a lot about Dubrovnik, and I hope everyone knows about Dubrovnik. And Dubrovnik is a very popular destination. It is very famous for its cultural heritage, festivals, and rich history. And it's very hard to organize sport event and to compete with culture and festivals in the city such as Dubrovnik. But Dubrovnik has never been active tourism destination, and we had no international mass sport events. And together with the city of Dubrovnik and Dubrovnik Tourist Board, we wanted to create an active tourism offer. But how to attract guests to stay longer in destination for several days, especially in pre and post season. So our idea with Dubrovnik Tourist Board, with Romana especially, because she recognized our idea from very beginning, to organize sporting event during the period of shoulder season. Dubrovnik half marathon that time sounded very good. We wanted to demonstrate that Dubrovnik or sports in general can get more tourist arrivals, overnight stays, and economic spending. The symbiosis of sport and tourism can reach the tourist offer in Dubrovnik and increase the city budget as well. That was very important at that time, and it is in this moment especially. So we have been activated marketing campaign to show people they can run and join in Dubrovnik as well. Our goal was to target running community, and the running community is a huge community worldwide. And we wanted to show people they can run and enjoy Dubrovnik at the same time. So we wanted to hit hard using running community, using all marketing tools we had at that time. And also we promoted our event on sport events expos worldwide. So Dubrovnik or DoMotion, which means Dubrovnik in motion, was born. Dubrovnik or Dubrovnik Half Marathon as an idea started 2014. We started together in exchange social project in collaboration with sister city Monterrey, United States. The initial idea was to organize half marathon, as I said, and with the help of Monterrey team, we did it 2015, the inaugural first year. After the first year, we launched a new concept featuring 4 different events and races and few more features. DoMotion means Dubrovnik in motion, Runners Days Dubrovnik. The runner is in the center of the event. This is a good example of good practice of planned sport event. This is very important for Dubrovnik and for our local community as well. During DoMotion races or DoMotion event, we have Dubrovnik Half Marathon as our main race, and it is limited on only 1,000 runners, but we still have runners from almost 60 countries worldwide. Half marathon is usually sold out months in advance. So we have kids race with 700 children aged 6 to 9 running on our main street in Old City, Main Street, Stradum. Then what is much more important for the project that during DoMotion and we have added social values. such as volunteering. We have around 800 volunteers, most young volunteers, 500 of them. Volunteers are strength of the DoMotion, and we call them wings of DoMotion. We recruit young volunteers through volunteer campaign a whole year. We have school presentations and workshops in our office. And that way we show their parents that we take care of their kids, and parents are very happy because they see their children volunteering. So we are very proud of our charity character of event. All proceeds from 5K races over 5 years, we have been donated to those in need. We are talking about 50,000 euros. One of our goals is raising awareness about sports as well. On our first 5K race, we are talking about Dubrovnik. Dubrovnik never had a running community, and like you have, Goraz, in Slovenia, for example. So on our first 5K race, we had only 43 runners running 5K race. That was a little bit strange for each of us. But 2019, we had 1,500 runners running, mostly locals, on that race. That was a huge success for all us from Dubrovnik and for all DoMotion team. So now the most important thing that we can show that tourism and sports can enrich local community. I mean, the economic impact is very hard, and DoMotion enhances private accommodation, which is very important. Romana knows how it is important for local community and locals to see those runners walking around and run event and stay longer in destination. And I would like to talk about symbiosis of locals and tourists. We give all our runners DoMotion Pass. DoMotion Pass is a kind of a credential. With that pass, you can have, as a runner, free entrance to city walls, to free public transport, to free entrance to all city museums. Using DoMotion Pass, runners have discounts in our partner hotels, restaurants, and bars as well. So you can imagine normal runner feel like Olympian, walking in our city as locals recognize them as the stars. So we wanted to offer our runners hospitality on the first place, but we wanted to show them they can feel and they can be one of us. And this is very important for Dubrovnik. You know why? Because they are walking around, the locals, that interaction between locals and runners is very important for the event. And of course, the challenging organization is important to say, because Dubrovnik is under protection of UNESCO, and it is very hard to organize a sports event within city walls or inside the old town. The streets are very narrow, so we have to move everything inside the city walls by using small trucks, around 300 or 400 fences inside the city walls. And we use public squares such as Stradun, our main street, the square in front of the Church of St. Blaise. And we have to cooperate with all city departments, the police department, fire department as well. So we work for a whole year to plan the race, because most our races are held within the city walls. So this is very challenging. The most challenging is organized the round the wall race. The city walls are very narrow, so we have to close it for all tourists, and on the city walls only 100 people running and 120 volunteers are helping them to run safely. And it is very, very hard, but we do our best to give them safety on the first place, and people are very, very happy when they finish the race. And you will see after PowerPoint presentation the beauty of the round the wall race. But the most important, I said a couple of times, that is that communication with locals. We have to inform them. We have to inform them very well what DoMotion gives them. So we cannot organize quality event without support of local community. And as you know, Dubrovnik is a very small community. Sometimes it's hard to make people understand importance of project like DoMotion is. They have to feel the project as their own. This is our goal. So what we have to do to get them on our side? We inform the public about DoMotion activities during the year and during the race through the local media. One of the most important ways of connecting locals with events is definitely through charity. As I said, our 5K charity race is a charity and mainly organized for the locals. On that way, we are giving back to the community and thanking them for their help. This is important for everyone and every person in Dubrovnik. The children race, the kids race, it's free. Every kid gets get medal and the finisher shirt, which is important because their parents see their kids are running, so they are enjoying in our race. And in following years, we can recruit them as runners or volunteers. So the feedback is great, both parents and kids. The parents are not protesting anymore about traffic jams at the very beginning of 2015. And now they support us and they talk positive about DoMotion. Locals can see and feel the economic side of DoMotion because it greatly affects on local economy. My personal opinion, that economic impact study helped us a lot. And this is how we get locals on our side, which is very important for sports event in a cultural city such as Dubrovnik. And now I will show you economic impact figures, which is important for each of us who's in tourism and sport industry. So since 2016, University of Dubrovnik has been doing DoMotion economic impact study. Study showed us a lot of interesting facts, such as most participants and most runners are international, 85% of them. What is more, even more interesting, they travel with companion, 87% of them more than one person. The average stay is 4.25 days per person, which is total of 2,700 arrivals. The total overnights are over 11,000 overnight stays in Dubrovnik. This is huge, and this is important because those numbers are high for such a small scale event. The table on your left clearly shows the amount of money spent on each: accommodation, gastronomy, transportation, culture, shopping, and other services. The total impact is over 2.1 million euros. For a small event, I think this is a very good result, and we give back community what we get from them. This is very important. On the top of that, survey results show runners' loyalty and the intention to revisit Dubrovnik. 96% of them stated they would recommend DoMotion as a sport event. 64% of them response intends to revisit Dubrovnik as a tourist, and what is more important, almost 100% of them, 98% responders would recommend Dubrovnik as a tourist destination for their friends and family. Of course, now we are in this situation, and as all of you, we are hit by COVID-19, and unfortunately 2020 did not go as planned. With increased number in 2020, all countries, as you know, started to implement different restrictions. We have most of our runners, as you saw from most of our runners are international runners. So we decided to postpone the April race on March 12, 2020. That time we knew it was a global pandemic and we would not be able to organize it in a month. However, we were hoping we would be able to hold it in September. But with the numbers growing, August 1st, 2020, we decided to postpone the event in 2021. So how we have been communicated in COVID-19 situation? Using online marketing tools, we launched public release and with all necessary information through social network and emails directly with our runners. We wanted to keep them informed and we wanted to keep them calm because they pay services they cannot get in that year. So we offered several options for all registered. Automatic transfer for their 2020 registration for 2021 edition, defer the registration to another edition in following year, defer their registration to another person in 2020 or any of the following years. This way we are still trying to have the runners come to Dubrovnik, whether that might be in 2021 or on any of following years. Because of the strong impact COVID had on the sport industry, we have decided to include a special chapter about it in European project. So we try to educate our volunteers and members of the DoMotion team how to tackle such problems, and we have continued to work on project waiting for our next DoMotion edition. In this moment, we only have questions, as I suppose each of you have, and so we have no clear answers when it will be. Should we organize it in April or in September? No one can give us an answer. Of course, we miss our event. Our runners miss our event. Our locals miss it as well because they keep asking us when we will organize DoMotion in 2021. So I have no answer, and I can say it's still pending. So Goras, please, can you launch the video? And I would like to thank the organizer again, and I wish you all successful 2021, and I hope we will have a beautiful and better year than the previous one. Please enjoy the Dubrovnik Run the Wall race. Thank you.
Thank you, Alen. Just one question from my side, and then we will run the video. As you are a sportsman, I used to say to my colleagues that organizing meetings is like a sport. You are as good as your last event. So what can we learn, meeting planners, from the sport universe, let's say so? Any suggestion in these hard times, Alen?
I don't know how to express myself, how difficult it is to explain athletes that you will not be able to organize event. But runners are special. Now I'm talking only of runners because I'm connected with the DoMotion with them mostly than the other sports in this moment. So they understand, okay, runners are, individuals mostly. So they love to travel, they love to visit other destinations, especially if we are talking about Western civilization. I mean, Western Europe countries or overseas countries such as Canada and United States. So they keep asking us, are we be able to organize our event? And we talk with them a lot about on this topic. They have no fear about running in other countries, whether those countries restrictions are high or not. I have no something smart and clever to advise you, because all of you are working in tourist industry for a long time, a long period, and I think you have much more experience how to connect with your customers. But runners are tourists as well, so I think the optimism in running community is very high, and I expect 2021 edition of DoMotion on a high level, not on 2019, but I expect most of them will come revisit Dubrovnik and run again in Dubrovnik. And my advice or my sport view from point of view of sportsmen, we have to be optimistic. I think the 2021 will be better than 2020 for sure, and in following years tourism will rise again, and I hope we will enjoy next time on Conventa to meet in person.
Thank you, Alen, once again. Amazing project. I'm impressed by your results, by the ROI of your event, and I think we can all learn a lot from what you are doing. Bravo. So now we are waiting for the video, and then we move on. Okay.
to Conventa. Explore, meet,